Hey guys, it's Shama Maher here, CEO of Scaling Retail, and today we're talking specifically to you, fashion startup designers, on wholesaling tips and really wholesale merchandising 101. It's easy to start a fashion brand and really start off from the position of designing clothes that you like. Right? Oftentimes as creative entrepreneurs, we say, hey, these are collections or products that we feel so largely inclined to make for ourselves. Why not start a business around those products? Well, while you might find a niche market in that direct-to-consumer e-commerce space, as you start to look at wholesale merchandising and how you need to diversify your collection to reach that buyer and that wider audience, there are a few different techniques and strategies here that you might not be aware of. Number one, it has to do with the size and the breadth of your collection. Number two has to do with the new things that buyers are looking for, new market trends that are happening in the space. And number three has to do with size inclusivity. So let's unpack this a little bit more. Number one, those of you guys who have small brands that are launching with what we like to call capsule collections, and you know what I mean, those 12-piece collections where you're designing really super edited styles and you want to create a very curated capsule wardrobe. Oftentimes I've seen brands who launch with this model produce new collections every 3 months, sometimes seasonally, and they're really driving that direct-to-consumer connection between consumers who want to consume less and buy less and have more edited wardrobes, a la Marie Kondo. However, capsule collections don't quite translate the same way when it comes to your wholesale buyers. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have a 12-piece collection and you're going to show a company like Nordstrom's what it is that you have to offer, well, 12 styles is simply too limited. Think of it from the perspective of that retail buyer. They're looking at your collection and they're saying, hey, from a financial standpoint, how am I going to cover these different categories that I have to buy into? They want to see what you have to offer in terms of breadth of styles and also breadth of colors. So even though you may not go into production for all of those samples that you're producing, it's really important that you say to these retail buyers, here's the entire breadth of what it is that I can offer. So start to look at your merchandising. How many tops to bottoms are you producing? Are you working into dresses, mostly tops, separates? What is your point of view and how can you really expand on that in order to show the breadth of the collection? Keep in mind that after you have your salesman samples and you go to market, your buyers are going to give you a lot of feedback. So you may find that you introduce new silhouettes, even a shorter hem length, a longer hem length, or possibly even changing some of your materials that you're using based on that buyer feedback. So the more options that you have for your retail buyers to choose from, the more feedback you're going to get. And hey, it's going to really stand to improve the collection that you're developing and also show those retail buyers that you have skin in the game and you're willing to work with them. Remember, those buyers are coming to market with a suite of what the products are that they're looking for, what their budgets are, and how exactly they plan to allocate that open to buy. As a newer emerging market brand, you have to compete with larger brands and also have to be able to show a unique point of view. So whether that is showing them breadth or opportunities for exclusives, take a look at the number of products that you're producing. Now, secondly, be cognizant of what's happening with retail market trends. Companies like The Modest are really important because they are segueing and showing us that the Modest marketplace is actually quite popular. A lot of brands and retail stores that are opening up in the Middle East are also asking of us as Western retail companies to start to diversify the types of products that we are producing. So for example, just about a year ago, our firm opened up a retail store in Bahrain in the Middle East. When we went to market to do the buy for this brand, we were taking a look to see what are not only the trending styles in the Middle East by collection with these different brands, but also what can they then produce for us that will be unique and exclusive to that market. So as you're looking to diversify what it is that you can offer, also keep in mind where the target markets are that you are pitching to and how you might want to assort your collection or provide breadth based on where those markets are. Let us not also forget that, guys, we have a northern and southern hemisphere world. So when it is summertime in one market, it is oftentimes fall, winter in another market. So as you're looking, again, to diversify what you're taking to market, work with your retailers to find out what's on trend for them and what seasons that they're buying for. And lastly, when it comes to your collection breadth, you also want to pay attention to things like the seasonality, but also the frequency by which you are dropping your collections. Most often, guys, your wholesale buyer is going to be looking for product to arrive almost every 3 months on the least frequent cadence, probably twice a year. But more often than that, it's going to be maybe 4 or even 5 times a year for that delivery. And before I forget, how can we not turn our attention to the whole size inclusivity market? Now, body positivity has taken a huge trend to the market as we take a look at social media, key influencers, and also brands that have been launching and taking a lot of steam. Companies like Universal Standard with their collaborations with Rodarte, as well as their collaboration with J. Crew, shows an opportunity in the market to be able to create a wide, diverse range of sizes for those products and also take a look at how popular they are in the market. So it's no longer the case where you can get away with a extra small to a large. Really start to look at expanding your sizes all the way up to an XL, double XL, triple, or even 4XL, depending on what the capabilities are with your existing design, production, and development process. But that is a movement that's very important for you guys to get on board with ASAP, simply because it is the predominant trend that's happening right now as wholesalers look to buy brands that are espousing cultural zeitgeist movements. And guess what, guys? Body inclusivity is not going away. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please read a little bit more about this topic in our article about how to get direct buyer feedback. I know that can oftentimes be one of the most challenging things when it comes to launching a business is how do you know you're even on the right track? So make sure you read that article and make sure you download our document on how to create the best wholesale line sheet. There are so many different ways that we look at how to present information, and certainly the ways that you communicate your brand to the wider market, especially with the right business terminology, how you're formatting it, and the types of images that you use can certainly play a big difference between a buyer who's going to say yes and one who's going to say not right now. Leave comments below. Head on over to Instagram at Scaling Retail. And if you're interested in working with us on any of our marketing, branding, and business modeling services, send us an email to hello@scalingretail.com. Thanks, guys. Bye.